Welcome to the Bookworm Duo, where we explore a variety of books. Let's get started. Today is a day I have had marked on my calendar for what feels like, well, forever.
Yeah.
We are finally tackling the sequel that pretty much the entire internet has been screaming for.
Yeah.
We are diving deep into The First Time I Saw Him by Laura Dave.
It really is a huge moment, isn't it? This is the follow-up to The Last Thing He Told Me, which, I mean, that wasn't just a bestseller, it was a whole cultural phenomenon.
Oh, completely.
Yeah.
And if you remember that first book, it ended on such a poignant but really ambiguous note. It left so many questions just hanging in the air.
Ambiguous is the polite way to put it. It broke my heart. It felt so unfinished for so many of us. And this book, it just grabs that baton and sprints.
So let's set the scene. We're looking at a very specific timeline here. It has been 5 years, 10 months, and 24 days since Owen Michaels just vanished.
Right. He disappeared to protect his daughter, Bailey, and his wife, Hannah.
And in that time, nearly 6 years of total silence.
Which is a lifetime, in the world they're living in. And things have changed. Hannah and Bailey are back in Los Angeles. Bailey's 22 now. She's not that angry teenager we remember.
Yeah, she's working at a casting agency, has a boyfriend, she's an adult.
Exactly. And Hannah's is back to her art, her wood turning. They've found a kind of stasis. They really believe the danger is finally behind them.
Which is always the classic mistake in this genre, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
Complacency.
They think the storm has passed, but really it was just circling back around. So let's get into it. Part 1 starts with, I can only describe it as a ghost walking into a showroom.
It's the big inciting incident, but Laura Dave writes it almost like a scene from a horror movie. Hannah's at the Pacific Design Center in L.A. She's wrapping up her exhibition. She's tired. Her guard is way down. And then a man walks in.
And I want to pause on his description because the author is so specific here. It's not just that he looks different. It's like a complete teardown of the Owen we knew. It's a masterclass in disguise, really. He hasn't just, put on a hat. He has a buzz cut. His hair is darker and his nose is crooked. It's been broken.
Broken. And the tattoos. A whole sleeve of spider tattoos.
Which is such a jarring detail.
That feels so aggressive for a guy who was this sort of soft-spoken tech exec. Why spiders?
Well, it's about breaking pattern recognition.
No.
If you're looking for a clean-cut corporate guy, your brain just glazes over the rough-looking dude with the sleeve tattoo and the broken nose.
It's like visual camouflage.
Exactly. It's psychological misdirection. He doesn't look like Owen, so people don't see Owen.
Except for one tiny detail.
The ring.
The ring.
The one flaw.
He's wearing the wedding ring Hannah made for him.
That oak finish. She's a wood turner. She knows the grain of that wood better than her own skin.
And that ring is the one anchor to his real identity.
It's such a tense scene. He drops his backpack. He helps her pick up some papers she dropped, but he doesn't touch her. He doesn't hug her.
No.
He just leans in and whispers this code phrase. The could-have-been boys still love you.
Chills.
It's such high-value information. In, intelligence terms, it's a perfect authenticator. It proves it's him without him having to say his name.
And it's a phrase that sounds like complete nonsense to anyone else who might overhear it.
Exactly. And then, just like that, he's gone. He just melts back into the crowd.
Just moments before Bailey shows up.
Ugh, the timing. It's so tragic. Bailey walks in with her new boyfriend, Shep, and she's completely unaware her father was just right there.
But this is where it gets really interesting. We get a quick flash of Owen's point of view.
Right. The narrative shifts for a second. We see him in an airport lounge, changing out of the disguise, flashing a fake New Zealand passport, and his internal monologue. It shows you how much pain he's in from having to walk right past his daughter.
So him breaking cover, even for 10 seconds, it tells you everything. The danger is back.
It's active, and it really manifests the very next morning. This isn't a slow burn anymore. It's an explosion.
Hannah's at home, trying to process if she just hallucinated the whole thing, and she gets a text.
Unknown international number. An area code +61.
Australia.
Probably a routed number, to throw off tracking. And the text has 2 commands. First, check your pocket.
It feels like a magic trick.
Oh.
She checks the leather jacket she was wearing, and there it is, a flash drive.
He planted it on her during that paper drop. Classic dead drop tradecraft.
But before she can even plug it in, the second text comes through.
Get out of the house now.
And this sequence really shows how much Hannah has changed. In the first book, she was so confused, so reactive. Here, a SoCal gas repairman shows up at her door, And she instantly knows.
She's become a survivor. She doesn't ask questions. She grabs a backpack, climbs out a window, goes down a trellis.
And cuts through the neighbor's yard. She even ditches the SIM card from her phone.
Right, because your phone is a tracking beacon, basically. The SIM card is always pinging cell towers. She knows she's being hunted by people who know what they're doing.
And while she's literally running for her life, Bailey gets a call.
From her Uncle Charlie. He's frantic. Her bodyguard, a guy named Justin, is gone.
And then the news breaks.
Nicholas Bell is dead.
Bailey's grandfather, the lawyer for the crime syndicate, the one person who was guaranteeing their safety.
Supposedly died of a heart attack at his lake house in Texas.
Okay, so let's connect the dots here because this all happened so fast. Owen shows up in L.A.
The next morning, Nicholas is found dead in Texas.
And literal hitmen show up at Hannah's door.
It's a power vacuum. The deal keeping them safe depended on Nicholas being alive and holding leverage. With him gone, that treaty is void.
The timing makes it clear Owen knew this was coming. He surfaced because their shield was about to drop.
Exactly.
So Hannah and Bailey meet up, they go off the grid, and they flee L.A. in Hannah's old Jetta. They finally plug in that flash drive. I was expecting, I don't know, a video, a letter.
But it's just photos.
Just photo albums.
It's sort of like steganography, you know?
No.
Hiding a message in plain sight. There's an album labeled Sausalito with old pictures, but they specifically feature Owen's old friend Carl and his brother Daniel.
And another one, Hannah's work.
Right. And it's a map. Hannah realizes the photos aren't just for nostalgia, they're coordinates. They point to Daniel, who's a pilot living up in Morro Bay.
So they drive north, totally terrified, and on the way, they get confirmation from their journalist friend, Jules.
And it is very bad news. The syndicate, specifically the old boss, Frank's children, Quinn and Teddy, they are not honoring the old deal.
The guard has changed.
And they've put a bounty on Bailey.
Which brings them to Morro Bay. They find Daniel the pilot. He gets them onto a private plane. The flight plan says Teterboro, New Jersey. They think they're going into hiding on the East Coast.
So midair, the plane diverts.
And this is just a terrifying moment for Hannah. She realizes they are not going to New Jersey, they're banking south.
Towards Miami.
Which is syndicate territory. Fisher Island, She thinks they've been sold out.
She's actually ready to fight. She's planning to lock Bailey in the cockpit and take on the pilot herself.
But they don't land in Miami, they just keep going.
Across the Atlantic, they land in France.
And they go to this specific hotel in Paris, La Reserve, which is a huge emotional callback.
It's where she and Owen had their honeymoon.
It's a sanctuary for them.
Right. It's a trusted safe house. So they get to the room, the adrenaline is just crashing, and there's a knock on the door.
Bailey thinks it's her dad. Hannah's just praying it's Owen. But when the door opens, it's the last person on earth they expect to see.
Nicholas Bell.
The man whose obituary they just read. The guy who supposedly died of a heart attack in Texas.
And this is the twist that just flips the entire book on its head. Nicholas Bell is alive. The death was faked. It was a trap.
Okay, explain the strategy there.
Right.
Why fake his own death if it puts Bailey in immediate danger? That seems counterintuitive.
It's a honeypot trap. A classic intelligence move. Nicholas and Owen suspected that Frank's kids, Quinn and Teddy, were just looking for an excuse to break the deal.
But they needed proof.
They needed absolute proof. So by faking his death, Nicholas basically removed his own leash from them. He gave them the opportunity they wanted.
And the second they took it, by putting that bounty on Bailey, they showed their hand.
Exactly. It justified everything Nicholas and Owen were about to do. It moved the whole situation from a Cold War to a hot war.
And this reveals a backstory that I found so fascinating. Owen and Nicholas, who were, they were enemies in the first book.
They're enemies.
And they've been secretly working together for years.
It's the ultimate enemy is my friend alliance. It started years ago at a meeting in Hawaii. Nicholas literally pointed a gun at Owen's heart.
Wow.
But they both realized they had the exact same singular obsession, protecting Bailey.
So for all those years, these two men were building a case. 20,000 documents.
An insurance policy, evidence of money laundering, racketeering, you name it. And now they're ready to cash it in.
The plan is just audacious. They're not going to the police. They're going to Issy-les-Bains in the south of France to crash Frank's 80th birthday party.
They're walking straight into the viper's nest.
And this time, Hannah refuses to stay behind. She insists on going with Nicholas. She's not just being protected anymore, she's part of the fight.
Right, which is a huge shift for her character.
So the scene at the party is just electric. You can feel the tension. It's this fancy party, champagne, the whole crime family is there.
Yeah.
And in walk Nicholas and Hannah.
And they just drop the hammer. Hannah pulls out a tablet that was on the flash drive. But it's not just the old documents. This is the knockout punch. The tablet is showing live surveillance feeds
Live video.
into Quinn's house, into Teddy's house. They haven't just been collecting paper, they've been bugging the entire syndicate leadership.
That is a nuclear option.
It's mutually assured destruction. Nicholas lays it all out. If anything ever happens to any of them, all of it. The documents, the live feeds, it all goes public instantly. It's a dead man's switch.
So Frank, the patriarch, he's trapped. His kids made a huge mess, and now his entire legacy is on the line.
But he can't just let them walk away. He has to save face.
This is where that old-school gangster mentality comes in. Frank pulls a gun.
And he shoots Nicholas.
I gasped when I read that. I thought, are you kidding me? They bring him back from the dead just to kill him for real?
But it's theater. It's violent theater. He shoots him in the shoulder. It's just a graze. Frank needed a blood sacrifice to show his kids he's still in charge.
But he accepts the deal.
He accepts the deal. He shoots his friend to save the peace. The syndicate officially backs down.
But there's a cost.
A big one.
A huge one. Nicholas survives, but he can never go back to his life. He's dead to the world. He tells Hannah he's going to a farm in Tuscany where his wife is buried and just live out his days in hiding.
It's a tragic ending for him. He gives up his entire existence to make sure Bailey is safe.
It's the completion of his redemption arc. He was a very flawed man, but in the end, he gave up everything for his granddaughter.
So Hannah says goodbye, and she goes to the marina in Antibes. And this is the payoff.
The moment we've waited 6 years for.
She gets on a boat. She finds Bailey asleep inside. And then she turns around. And Owen is there.
He shaved the beard, no spider tattoos. He looks like himself again.
After all the running, all the codes, all the fear, they're finally on a boat, together, safe, the family, reunited.
It's just such a powerful and earned resolution. And it finally closes that open wound from the first book.
So when you step back and you look at the whole story, what's the big takeaway for you?
I think it's about the evolution of what protection means. You know, in the first book, Owen protected them by leaving.
Right.
In this book, he had to realize that wasn't enough. To truly protect them, he had to come back and completely dismantle the threat.
And that partnership between him and Nicholas was the heart of the book for me.
Yeah.
Seeing them team up was just so satisfying.
Yeah, that alliance was incredible.
And it really brings home that theme of second chances. Nicholas got a second chance to be a father figure. Owen got a second chance to be a husband and a dad.
And Hannah got a second chance at the life she was promised. It's a great reminder that sometimes the happy ending isn't just handed to you.
You have to fight for it.
You have to fight for it, plan for it, suffer for it, and, maybe fake a death or two along the way.
Chuckles. Hopefully not the faking death part for most of us. But the fighting for it, definitely. It's a story about resilience. And it asks you, how far would you go?
It really makes you question your own limits.
It really does. And on that note, here's a thought to leave you all with. We know Nicholas is in Tuscany, and the family is safe on the boat. But Quinn and Teddy, they're still out there. They backed down because they had to, not because they wanted to. Does that kind of resentment ever really go away? Or is peace just a pause between wars?
That is a very unsettling thought to end on.
I know, right? Just something to chew on. Thanks for joining us. Subscribe for more bookish adventures and hit that like button if you enjoyed the ride. Don't forget to share the knowledge, spread the word,